On Christmas, Rick shrinks Morty and sends him inside the body of a homeless man named Reuben, once a doctor, to save his life. Inside Reuben's body is Anatomy Park, a parody of both Jurassic Park and Disneyland, which houses various deadly diseases that escape their enclosures. Morty meets the park staff, Poncho, Alexander, Annie, and their leader, Dr. Xenon Bloom. After fleeing from gonorrhea to the lungs, they discover that Reuben is suffering from tuberculosis, but he dies just before Rick can cure him. Together, they flee from the rampaging diseases and dangers, which results in Alexander's death while Annie eventually falls for Morty. They discover that Poncho betrayed them by giving Reuben the tuberculosis, and he is killed by bubonic plague. Morty tells them to get to Reuben's right nipple, and Dr. Bloom is devoured by E. coli bacteria operating a train for Morty and Annie to escape. Rick ultimately rescues Morty and Annie by enlarging Reuben's body to the size of the contiguous United States before detonating the body. Annie, Rick, and Morty return to Earth, and Rick shrinks Annie for a future experiment.
He was a genius, the only man capable of creating a new anatomy park.
Actually?
Hey, what the hell, Rick? What the hell? Man, I liked her!
Meanwhile, at the family home, Jerry's parents visit along with a man named Jacob, and the family tries to bond without electronic devices at his demand. At lunch, Jerry is dismayed to discover his parents have been engaging in polyamory with Jacob, and soon comes to regret his wish for an electronic-free bonding. Summer's boyfriend Ethan makes an appearance, enraged over her digital absence, and they fight briefly before reconciling with Jacob's help.
He didn't make you anything, man. You are who you...
He's so much.
You did it again.
No! Stop! I hate this!
Well, Christmas doesn't...
Suddenly, blood from Reuben's remains rains from the sky, enveloping the outdoors. Rick and Morty return to the living room, and Rick berates the family for engrossing themselves in their electronics on Christmas. In a post-credits scene, Rick contacts Annie and her new associates inside his new patient's body in hopes of recreating Anatomy Park. He hangs up in frustration after one member insults the concept of his ride, and the patient is revealed to be Summer's boyfriend, Ethan, who then asks if he'll still be paid.
Whole thing, Ethan.
Cool. And who pays me?
Aliens hold Rick and Jerry captive in a virtual reality in an attempt to steal Rick's recipe for concentrated dark matter. As Rick attempts escape, he discovers that there are multiple virtual reality layers on top of each other. Jerry, on the other hand, despite numerous system glitches, remains completely oblivious and keeps trying to sell his advertising slogan for apples. Rick finally games the aliens by giving them a fake recipe. The aliens send Rick and Jerry on their way, and their ship explodes as they prepare the concoction.
No!
Are you?
You're not. Or are you?
Hey, Jerry, don't worry about it. So what if the most meaningful day of your life was...
All right, everybody. 2 parts plutonic quartz. Ingredient.
Wow!
In post-credits scene, Jerry is fired on the spot after debuting his new advertising slogan for apples in the real world. At night, a drunk Rick enters Morty's room, starts showing appreciation for him, but quickly turns on him with a knife and demands to know if Morty is a simulation. Rick then apologizes before passing out.
Are you a simulation? Huh? Are you a You're good. You're a good kid.
Oh my God! What the hell?
After killing deadly enemies in an alternative dimension, Morty complains that Rick's adventures are too dangerous and traumatizing. This leads them into a Jack and the Beanstalk type adventure, where Morty is in charge.
In search of adventure!
Oh my God, so embarrassing.
Your call to adventure? Good sir? Kind sir? Come on, Rick. There's a giant in the cloud.
He decides to steal the giant's treasure and give it to the villagers. The giant dies by accident. Rick and Morty are charged with murder, but are ultimately acquitted. Rick and Morty then descend from the giant's beanstalk realm and stop in a fairy tale pub on the way down. There, King Jellybean attempts to rape Morty, but Morty escapes. Rick wins money playing poker and gives it to the villagers.
I'm really sorry about all the stuff I said.
Let's go, please. Please, I just want to go home.
As Rick and Morty are leaving this dimension, Rick kills King Jellybean, having figured out his attempted rape of Morty. Meanwhile, Beth, Summer, and Jerry use Rick's Meeseeks box to spawn Meeseeks, blue creatures that fulfill one request and then explode. Jerry summons one Meeseeks to help him improve his golf game and spend some time training to no avail. The Meeseeks summons more of them to help, resulting in an increasingly larger crowd of frustrated Meeseeks. They decide to kill Jerry, but given one last chance, he ultimately demonstrates that his skills actually have improved, and the Meeseeks are happy to disappear.
For meaning, Jerry, we are created to serve a singular purpose.
Jerry, turn around. Straighten your back. Bend.
Handicap strong. What about your short game?
Oh my god, oh my god. What about your...
Ooh, nice.
In post-credits scene, two villagers find a box of incriminating photographs belonging to King Jellybean, which they burn to preserve the king's legacy as a benevolent ruler.
Our people will get more from the idea he represented.